Hi. Have you ever wondered how logical Plants vs. Zombies really is? You probably haven't, and honestly, neither had I until recently. But the topic piqued my interest, and I decided to dive into it. In today's video, I'll talk about the logic in PvZ. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's begin. So, as we all know, in PvZ, the goal is to defend your house from zombies using plants. At first glance, this seems perfectly logical, given the game's concept. But why don't the zombies just swarm the house in one massive group from the start, giving the player no chance to build up defenses? They clearly have an overwhelming reserve of, well, undead manpower. Instead, they trickle out in small groups that are easy to counter. Only toward the end, when the player's defenses are strong, do they decide to launch a full-on assault, and, of course, they lose. This could have been resolved much more efficiently from the start. Sure, you could argue that the zombies are dumb, but they have a smart leader drive. Zomboss, who could easily have thought of this. Yet he chooses not to act that way. The only strategy he seems to employ is attacking at different times of day and from various directions, which isn't very effective either. My next issue lies with Crazy Dave's logic. He sells us items and plant upgrades for money, but what's the point of money in a zombie apocalypse? It's not like it holds any value anymore. Besides, both Dave and the player have a common enemy drive. Zomboss. So logically, we should pool our resources and fight together. But for some reason, Dave still insists on profiting off us with useless cash. Another thing that bothers me is the zombies' armor. For example, zombies with cones or buckets on their heads have more HP than regular ones. But this doesn't make sense to me. A peashooter's projectile would hit their bodies, not their heads, so the cone or bucket shouldn't offer any real advantage. It would have made more sense if zombies had armor made of trash cans or something more effective. Now, I know you might say, but PvZ has catapult plants that specifically target zombies' heads, and you'd be right. Against catapults, the bucket or cone makes sense, but it's entirely useless against direct shooting plants. Next, I want to address the logic behind Dr. Zomboss and the rooftop. I think it's obvious what the issue is. Why doesn't the roof collapse under the enormous weight of the zombot? He walks on it, throws buses at plants, and even falls apart at the end, yet the roof doesn't break or even show signs of damage. What kind of material is that roof made of? But this isn't my only complaint about Zomboss. I also don't understand why he doesn't just use his robot to crush all the plants. He can clearly do that whenever he wants, or at least send an overwhelming number of zombies. Instead, he occasionally throws a van, launches fire and ice balls, and sends a few zombies here and there, dragging things out far longer than necessary. As you can see, there are plenty of illogical things in PvZ, just like in any game. But we need to understand that if PvZ were entirely logical, many mechanics and even the core gameplay wouldn't make sense, and the game would be impossible to complete. Let me know in the comments what other illogical things you've noticed in PvZ, I'd love to read them. With that, I'll wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.